a male loneliness epidemic when all the pick me women haven't been picked? I don't understand. How are you niggas lonely when there's still church thumping bitches? There's bitches that don't sell coochie and they're all here. How are y'all lonely? It could never be. There's so many. Listen, if you're a single man, use the hashtag tradwife. If you use that hashtag or you use the milkmaid dresses, type that in. Dumb bitches is ready to get married. They'll marry anything. They just want somebody to take them. Like, how are y'all lonely? It's because niggas don't know how to be strategic. If I was a man and I was single, I'm typing in trad wife, milkmaid dresses, Bible. I'm going to church every fucking Sunday and Wednesday because I know somebody there want to get wife. Them bitches will clean your house. They'll feed you. They'll let you cheat. They'll fast for you 40 days and 40 nights.
Shout out to the lady who asked this question because I always love when this topic comes up. I love explaining to pick me's why they'll never be picked. And also to the women who are not pick me's who are just like confused, like, I'm not really understanding why these women are not being chosen by the men who they are willing to sacrifice everything for. Like, but anyway, I love explaining this. First and foremost, when you are already mentally conquered, you are not a challenge. Men will not pick you. And just for a disclaimer, being picked by a man is not a flex. I mean, if you've been following me for a while, you already know that I don't think having a baby by a man is a flex, or being picked is a flex, or getting married is a flex. To me, in most cases, that's the number one way to like lose your identity and lose yourself and like ruin your life. So I just want to make that clear. But for those of you who still have this question, men don't want women who are already mentally conquered. And pick me women are already mentally conquered. There is no challenge there. It is not fun. It is not exciting. You know, it's like beating a pinata, right? And you're beating the pinata to get the candy out of it. But if you already know that the pinata is already beaten and there's no candy in it, you toss it to the side. There's nothing to gain, right? There's nothing. There's nothing left. And with these pick me women's brains, they're already scrambled in a sense, right? There's nothing you came to destroy it, but it's already destroyed. And I hate to put it that way, but there's really no better way to explain that. And that's one of the reasons why pick me's are not picked. Men don't see pick me's as valuable. And you just typically are not going to respect something that isn't valuable, something you don't value. A lot of pick me's are used for fun, for validation, for their bodies, for free labor. But when it comes down to finding substance, there is really nothing fun about somebody that's already destroyed or already conquered. A lot of pick me's come across as desperate. That is another reason. Men will use your desperation to their advantage. But when it comes down to anything like serious, if they ever get serious, they're not going to pick you. They'll use you to put things in their name. They'll use you for a place to live. They'll use you for a lot of things. You can be useful in that way. Anything that helps them to get to where they're going. But when it comes to like really truly taking you seriously, absolutely not. A lot of pick-me's make a mistake because they think that they're showing loyalty. They think that they're proving that they're wifey material, right? That they are submissive and they're not like the other girls. Y'all know like the not other girls trope. I'm not like other girls. But really what they're showing men is that they're clingy, they're insecure, they don't have any options, and they're desperate. They see that you have low self-esteem. Like there's nothing to gain from that. Another reason is because men don't see pick-me's as whole. They see them as a role to play. Like you're playing a role, and it's just like when you meet a guy and he's like, oh, you seem like you would be a good wife and a good mother. and a good cook and a good this and a good that. They never actually care about you as a person and what your hobbies are, what your likes and dislikes are. They don't really care about you. They want to marry you because they can put you in a role, right? They see pick me's as a role. Even if these men pick you and marry you, of course you will be getting cheated on. And they'll be, spending more time with their friends and doing all this other stuff where they got you somewhere groveling and begging for their attention. So even if they marry you, you're still not going to have a healthy, fulfilled marriage either. And they're going to use you as a placeholder or a starter wife or whatever, and are going to replace you. Why? Because you are not valuable. The reality is that men choose to chase after the very women that pick-me's pretend to be. They pretend to be like this high and mighty, confident woman when they're everything but. And typically that's who the men are going to go for. So in case you've ever been wondering why men don't choose pick-me's, that's typically why. And in closing, pick-me's fail not because they are not devoted to the cause. It's mostly because they're desperate. Like when you are desperate, you don't take desperate people seriously, do you? Think of any other situation. Do you really trust desperate people for real, for real? Men are no different. They don't want someone that's trying so hard. They want the woman that's not trying at all. Like anytime you see a woman jumping over hoops and bending over backwards to do stuff for a man, they be so confused when a man just get up and leave. They upgrade, they move on. And they're like, I don't understand why he did that. And they move on to a woman who hasn't done absolutely nothing. Like she's done nothing to help build him up, to be a build-a-bear or a pygmy or whatever y'all call it, right? These women have done nothing. As much as men call me a misandrist, as much as men accuse me of hating men, they stay in my face. They stay in my DMs. They stay shooting their shot. And it's funny to me because it's like, don't y'all want women that's already like offering themselves up for sacrifice? Like, I don't really get it. There's plenty of women out here who are desperate for male attention. Why are you bothering me? But I already know why. That's why. Men like women who they have not conquered yet. They like the chase, the thrill of conquering something. Now, if you're smart, you're never going to let a man conquer you in that way anyways. You can just keep them on this hamster wheel. The same way they keep women on hamster wheels, you can keep them on a hamster wheel, making them think that one day they're going to conquer you. That's how you get everything you want to get out of men. That's how you get them to pay bills. That's how you get them to pay for college or whatever you want to use them for. That's how you get them to do it, is making them think that they have a shot at conquering you. If you are a pick-me woman and you are desperate to be picked, the number one way to do that is to pretend to be a misandrist. Somebody was just saying that recently on a TikTok post. It was like, all you got to do is just pretend like you hate men. And boom, bada bing. Like the men will be falling at your feet. That's all I got to say about that. I'll take you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. Fuck these men on the internet. They don't know what they want, but they will see what they can get. They'll go and waste your one and only precious life while pretending not to have a full receding hairline. So keep your eyes on his hairline and your hand on your drink. For all you know, he is a psychopath. He'll leave you on red, and he won't care if you're dead. And the psychics on TikTok